This show is brought to you by Safety FM.
I want this to be in the style of a techno, but heaven here find Daft Punk. I want this to be in the style of techno, but heaven is but Daft Punk. Some big simulation. Now I know that we are all just digital information. A fake world for the taking. I'm looking at the news and it's kinda hard to watch it. The universe is way too big to have one God who made it.
The following program is rated MA-LSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Finally, show with the balls to call it like it is. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Countdown to audio torture.
The Rated R Safety Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Let the eardrum pain begin.
Forget the corporate bullshit. This is the Rated R Safety Show with your host, Dr. It doesn't matter who the host is.
Yes. It does not matter who the host is, even on a Freeform Friday. That's for sure. Anyway, today's Friday, July the 3rd of 2026. And we are coming across the multiverse known as Safety FM. We are broadcasting from the Safety FM studios in Orlando, Florida. And coming across that lovely thing that we call the multiverse and the dual streaming, the simul streaming. We're also, hanging out with our friends over there, at that other place that does the freeform stuff.
Freeform Radio never sounded this great. Or has it? Radio Big.
Oh, yes. Hanging out with our friends at Radio Big, because that's kind of what we do. We hang out, we do some stuff, and then do some things down the parallel. No doubt about that. So anyways, how's the last 24 hours or so been for you? Are you excited? The weekend is a big deal in regards to what's coming up, because it is the 4th of July. In regards of everything that's going on, a lot of people super excited. I will tell you even the other portion real quick. Some people are even off today. So they're enjoying that stuff that is going on. 4th of July weekend, why not enjoy some freedom?
Wishing you a safe and happy 4th.
I love fireworks.
Nothing says freedom like blowing up fireworks in your neighbor's yard.
That's kind of how it goes. So anyways, it is Freeform Friday, so let's make sure that we explain what happens today that's different than the other 4 days that we do the show. So today I get to play catch-up. And what does that mean? Not with the bottle of ketchup or the red stuff in regards to that. What we do is we get to talk about all of the stuff that we did not discuss previously in the week. So that's kind of part of the gig today. So don't worry. We're going to go down the rabbit hole. There will be no main story, because it is Freeform Friday. So that's why we title the Friday shows normally Freeform Friday, and then whatever reference piece that we go from there. So that's kind of the reference piece there. So let's not get too confused on what the hell's going on. So if you're ready, we're not going to drop into feature story news yet, because we will leave the professional broadcasters to speak in just a moment. But if you want to interact with the show, it's simple to do so. All you have to do is go to callinradio.com. That's callinradio.com, and that will get everything moving and grooving for you. No, seriously, it really will. And once that occurs, well, then we're all set. So here's what we're going to do right now. We're going to do the weekend review. So if you're good with it, we'll get it moving right now.
Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, are they getting married? Yes, everyone's talking about it, I guess.
Victor Willis, the iconic original frontman of the Village People, has passed away.
The legendary singer died at the age of 74 following a short illness. Famously dressed as the police officer, Willis co-wrote and belted out massive hits like Macho Man, In the Navy, and YMCA.
Across the country this morning, more than 200 million people are feeling the heat, with dangerous and punishing temperatures enveloping the Northeast ahead of the 4th of July weekend.
President Trump back in Washington this morning after his first flight on board the new Air Force One, the luxury Boeing 747 gifted by the government of Qatar.
Now to a big question about security at the Empire State Building after two Russian climbers made their way to the very top Wednesday. The duo wearing masks were seen balancing on a narrow ledge on the building's antenna.
The wait is over. The U.S. men's team clinched their first World Cup knockout win in more than 2 decades.
The Justice Department now charging a former American Olympian for damaging the reflecting pool in Washington. President Trump spent $16 million in taxpayer money to paint and renovate the pool. He blamed vandals for the algae and peeling paint. Now that former Olympian has been charged, and tonight he says he did nothing wrong.
New video of the devastating earthquakes hitting Venezuela exactly 1 week ago. Surveillance cameras capturing the ground shaking. Look at that, rocking cars on the road. The quake sending people scrambling here before they're being tossed to the ground. Officials say more than 2,200 people have died and tens of thousands are believed to still be missing.
Okay, so there you go. That's the weekend review of the things that have been happening so far. So there you go. Yeah, we kind of try to normally leave it on a lighter note, but with it being the 4th of July weekend coming up, that's number one. Normally the monologues are kind of limited because, hey, most of the people are on vacation. So that is why there is nothing, because they're mostly repeats this week. So there you go. Okay, so with that being said, why don't we go ahead and do this right now? Let's bring in our friends from Feature Story News. Let them tell you what exactly is going on inside of the multiverse, and then we move on from there. So if you're good with it, I'm good with it. We'll get moving right away and get you into some news stuff.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
From Feature Story News in New Delhi, I'm Ishan Garg. Japan and India have vowed to work more closely on critical minerals to bolster supply chains as they seek to cut their dependence on China. Japanese Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi highlighted the need for resilience as she met her Indian counterpart Narendra Modi in New Delhi for talks.
They've agreed to strengthen cooperation in several areas, identifying building joint economic security as a key vision for bilateral ties. They said they will work in areas such as artificial intelligence, shipbuilding, biogas, semiconductors, and critical technologies. They've also agreed to work together to uphold the idea of a free and open Indo-Pacific. They did not make any overt references to China, but they have identified a new blueprint for strategic cooperation. They've said that they view this space as a shared space and not one where one single country can have dominance and sway. They've agreed to, for the first time, co-develop defense technology. They say they will conduct naval exercises together. And the message seems to be that they're trying to bring about a change in the perception of great powers in Asia.
The White House is in advanced talks with artificial intelligence companies on voluntary standards governing the release of new AI models, with an announcement expected as soon as next week, according to the Financial Times. While OpenAI has proposed giving the US government a 5% stake in AI firms, the AI company Anthropic has put forward a separate plan based on taxation rather than equity. The competing proposals reflect a broader debate over how the public should benefit from the rapid growth of the AI industry. Jagruti Dave has more from Washington.
Would be independent from the government, but it would be taxation based, and so then those taxes would then go into a fund which would be paid out to the public, or again invested in government in public services. So those are the sorts of ways, I think, based on what this FT article is describing, is how this plan would benefit the public.
Taylor Swift and the American footballer Travis Kelce's wedding celebrations in New York have kicked off, according to reports. Mitch McCann tells us more.
The event festivities will kick off this afternoon, where Taylor Swift will have a rehearsal dinner at one of the theatres inside Madison Square Garden behind me. But tomorrow is the big show, Mark, a big event happening here at the Garden. Around 1,000 people expected for this wedding. They'll arrive, according to these reports, again at 3:30 in the afternoon tomorrow for a cocktail hour, and then the event itself will start around 5:30. Now, it's also thought that Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce may have built some sort of castle and a garden inside Madison Square Garden. A lot going on, and we're also hearing that Stevie Nicks and Tim McGraw might be performing tomorrow night here at the Garden as well. Now, as for New Yorkers and what they think, it seems most people around here are happy for the newlyweds.
With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks. Today, President Donald Trump's astonishing payday since his return to the White House. Financial declarations show that his personal wealth has grown by around $2 billion since Inauguration Day, with an eye-popping $1.4 billion of that coming from his investments in cryptocurrency. He also secured hundreds of millions of dollars via deals involving foreign businesses or governments that simultaneously were presenting proposals to the US government. Daniel Lippman is a White House reporter for Politico.
His kids have a big part to do with it because they and their father have this company called World Liberty Financial, which he's made hundreds of millions of dollars from. One of their big backers is a investment entity linked to the UAE. It kind of reminds you of Trump's rhetoric a couple of years ago where he was dismissing crypto as a scam and something that drug dealers and criminals used. And now he's changed his tune and has also put a lot of pro-crypto financial regulators into his government.
President Trump said on Wednesday that he never speaks to his investment advisors who control his accounts and said he was only benefiting from the rise in the stock market, which he suggested is similarly benefiting all Americans. The White House says there is no conflict of interest to probe. The president's opponents believe there is plenty. With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks.
FSN is an independent source of news for TV, radio and digital networks worldwide. You can find more of our minute-by-minute updates on Twitter. Follow us there at Feature Story. And we have a wealth of audio and video stories from our global news bureaus on Facebook. You can find us there by following Feature Story News. Stay tuned for further updates right here, but for now, that is the latest Feature Story News. Ishan Garg reporting.
This show is almost as enjoyable as hearing the sound of the toilet flush. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
You've seen the loop. You've felt the shift. The script doesn't fit anymore, and neither do you. Safety transmission. The collapse of the construct is the third and final signal in the trilogy from J. Allen, PhD. And this time, it's not about waking up. It's about what you do once you're awake. The system didn't break. It just stopped pretending to hold you. And now it's blinking, rebranding presence, packaging resistance, and calling it progress. This book isn't a guide. It's a transmission. It doesn't teach the system how to evolve. It shows you how to stop performing for it. You'll see what happens when awareness becomes responsibility, when audits don't listen, and when leadership becomes a loop. But if you've made it this far, you're not here to be managed. You're here to carry signal. Safety transmission. The collapse of the construct. Now available in print, Kindle, and audiobook. Narrated by J. Allen, PhD. Because if it couldn't hold your signal, it was never real to begin with.
Let's start using cutting-edge warp speed 5G technology with your cell phone. Let me tell you about my friends at mobilemobile.io. They have an ultra-fast 4G LTE and 5G network that covers 99% of Americans. So they've got you covered everywhere. Think about it for a moment. You have the opportunity to take a test drive for 10 days with unlimited talk, text, and premium data. What is premium data? Premium data is an allotment of a cellular data that you receive from a higher priority on the network. You won't get throttled like you will with some of those, well, non-brand service providers. To find out more information, all you have to do is go to mobilemobile.io. That's mobilemobile.io to start your 10-day free trial.
Hello.
your safety training old, stale, and hacked? Is your safety trainer still preaching a warped version of behavior-based safety? How about safety training that actually addresses your hazards in your workplaces and is not standardized baloney from 25 years ago? Contact the Safety Wars team at safetywars.com or call Jim Posel at 845-269-5772. Remember, if you're receiving this message, you are the solution to unsafe workplaces.
Pop quiz, hotshot. During a heat wave, what's more important, air conditioning or air guitar?
Is it air conditioning?
Air guitar. The answer is always air guitar.
Yeah, air guitar would definitely sound like the correct answer as we are talking, no doubt about that. Anyways, currently 15 minutes past the top of the hour as you and I are hanging out on this lovely Freeform Friday. So let's get into it and let's start talking right away about some of the things that are going on inside of the world of the multiverse. Russian climbers Ivan Burkus and Angela Nikolai, famed for scaling the skyscraper without safety gear, recently reached the Empire State's Building 1,454 foot antenna, unfurled a love banner. Burkus proposed. The stunt led to the police shutdown, and the pair now face multiple criminal charges. The banner they displayed said, "When the power of love beats the love of power, the world knows." A reporter asked Ivan why they chose that message, and here's the answer.
Where are you going to go on your honeymoon? Have you picked your next building to climb?
What's your message to New Yorkers?
Why did you choose that message? Because I believe in love.
So there you go. A lot of stuff there. I mean, yeah, I guess when you believe in love, it's kind of one of those weird things that things can change for you. So there you go. There you go. A lot of stuff going on inside of the multiverse, that is for sure, as we are talking. So a lot of news stories going on today as well. So let's make sure that we give you a combo of what we didn't get to and then a combo of what's going on. So there you go, because we're going to need to do that because that's kind of how things work. So take a listen to this real quick because I thought that this was kind of interesting. And let's get into the state of WTF.
Welcome to Florida.
So let's talk about that real quick. So take a listen to this. A retired U.S. Army staff sergeant was shot and killed after a confrontation over a parking space outside of a Walmart in North Lauderdale, Florida. Authorities say that the 62-year-old Bart DeGelmo and an unidentified woman got into a verbal argument in a parking lot on Tuesday afternoon. The dispute escalated when the woman pulled out a handgun and ultimately shot Bart. She has claimed that she acted in self-defense. Video recorded by bystanders appeared to show that the two were arguing while pointing at each other. At one point, Bart raises his hand before following the woman around a vehicle as she continues to pointing the gun. A single shot is then heard. Bart collapses. He was taken to the hospital, but later died from his injuries. Bart, originally from New Jersey, was a decorated Army veteran who served during the Operation Desert Storm as a combat nurse, combat medic, and a tactical communications specialist. Family members described him as a devoted Christian, a retired nurse, and someone who would not hurt anyone. The woman has not been publicly identified. Investigators are reviewing the case, and the Broward County State Attorney's Office will decide whether criminal charges will be filed. So, listen, I don't know. I understand road rage is a thing, but apparently a parking lot issue is a thing as well. It just gets so weird as we are talking about it. I never understand it.
Duh.
I look at it from the standpoint of what makes the most logical sense. I don't think that you woke up that morning and said, hey, let's shoot someone over a parking spot.
Another pitfall of our society. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, so let's start talking about some other things that are going on inside of the world. And I think that this is interesting because keep in mind right now that there is a heat wave that's going across the country here. And keep in mind that people are outside for these long expended period of time. and how hot it gets. And if you hang out on the ground, because there's really no other way to hang out, you're going to notice on how the heat is going about. But let's talk about if you're at a theme park, because this always makes it a little bit more interesting. 3 people were safely rescued after Wild Mouse roller coaster at Idlewild and Zoke Zone in Pennsylvania unexpectedly stopped about 50 feet above the ground on Monday evening. One of the riders, Monica Johnson, said that she and her 8-year-old cousin were stranded for more than an hour. Johnson admitted that she was panicking because of her anxiety, but praised her young cousin for staying calm throughout the ordeal. Firefighters from Darlington Volunteer Firefighter Company responded and safely evacuated all 3 riders, and the rescue that took about 45 minutes. Fire Chief Kurt Rose said the operation went smoothly because crews were regularly trained with the amusement park for situations like this. No injuries were reported. Despite the scare, Johnson praised both park employees and first responders for keeping everyone calm and said that the incident hasn't changed her opinion on the park. Idlewild officials say that the cause of the right unexpected stoppage is still under investigation. The Wild Mouse coaster will remain closed until it passes full inspection, while the rest of the park remains open. So there you go. Some things to think about during your celebrations of going out and doing stuff. That maybe, just maybe, the park may close or get stuck with certain things. Just some stuff to think about there. So there you go. A lot of stuff going on inside of there. So a lot of stuff to give some consideration to, no doubt about that. So what do you think here? Is this something that you even give any consideration to? Or is this something that you go, not for me, not doing the flight, not doing the roller coaster stuff, not in this kind of heat? I mean, I'm just asking the question because I think it gets extremely strange as we are going for it. So what do you think here? So let's start talking about some other stuff. Former Fox News host Tucker Carlson says that he's finished with the Republican Party and plans to help build a new third-party political system. Though that he insists he has no interest in running for office himself, in an interview with Columbia Journalism Review, Carlson said that America's two-party system has become a one-party state posing as a democracy, while making it clear that he still has a long he has a long relationship with President Donald Trump. Carlson revealed, because that's what he did, he revealed that they have not spoken since the U.S. military action against Iran. He said that the conflict has the breaking point that led him to leave the GOP, calling it a betrayal of Trump's anti-intervention promises. Carlson said that he's proposed a third party would focus on issues affecting everyday Americans, including wages, declining life expectancy, and the impact of artificial intelligence on jobs. He also argued that for ending immigration, saying that AI is eliminating many white-collar jobs and the government should prioritize the welfare of American citizens. Tucker said that he has no regrets about being fired from Fox News in 2023, calling it one of the best things that has happened to him because it allowed him to build his own independent media platform. So what do you think here? A lot of stuff going on inside of the multiverse as we are talking. So there you go. I have to tell you about this one because I'm slightly confused here. I mean, there was kind of a general consensus talking about this during feature story news. So I want to bring this up to this morning. Former U.S. Olympian David Hearn has been indicted by a federal grand jury on one account of proposed destruction after prosecutors say that he damaged the recently renovated Lincoln Memorial reflection pool in Washington, D.C. Hearn, 67, was arrested last month after authorities accused him of deliberately pulling up newly installed sealant from the bottom of the pool, causing about $1,000 worth of damage. U.S. Attorney said that the evidence is strong, alleging that Hearn forcefully tore the liner with both hands and became confrontational when the employee told him to stop. Hearn strongly denies the allegation. He says that he merely touched the loose flap of material out of curiosity after noticing that the coating was already peeling. He said the charges are completely unfounded and accused officials of trying to create vandalism narrative to explain problems with the project. The case comes after President Trump warned that anyone caught vandalizing the $14 million reflection pool renovation would face years in jail. The project, completed earlier in June, was part of Washington's preparation for America's 250th anniversary, quickly ran into problems as the liner began peeling and algae turned the water green. The administration has since deployed nano bubble technology and hydrogen peroxide treatments to combat the algae, and while defending the renovation against criticisms, the indictment moves Hearn's case from misdemeanor citation to a felony level grand jury proceeding, with prosecutors continuing to investigate several other alleged vandalism cases at the reflection pool. I didn't realize that this was a place that got vandalized that often. Like, seriously. So I don't know. Some things to think about. Let me go back to this for a moment because I forgot to mention this when we were talking earlier, but I'm only talking about this so much because apparently it is a big news story. But the daredevil couple that featured in Netflix's Skywalker's A Love Story has been released under supervised release after climbing the top of the Empire State Building for a dramatic marriage proposal. No, seriously, that's what it was. That sparked a major police response. Vanya, whose legal name is Ivan Kostanok, and Angela Nikolai appeared in Manhattan criminal court wearing the same black clothing that they wore on Wednesday's stunt. They did not enter pleas to charges that included reckless endangerment, burglary, and criminal mischief. Burglary? I want to know more. Their attorney argued prosecutors had overcharged the case. A judge ordered the couple released under low-level supervised release until the next court appearance on August the 24th. After leaving the court, the newly engaged pair shared a kiss before heading into the subway station. Authorities are also investigating how the couple gained access to the top of the Empire State Building, with officials reportedly looking into whether they entered through a worker's entrance to bypass normal security screening. The proposal, complete with a banner reading, "When the power of love beats the love of power, the world knows peace," quickly became the national news. The stunt was not connected to Netflix or filmed for any official production, although Netflix promoted the documentary on social media after the incident. Skywalker, A Love Story, which premiered in 2024 at Sundance Film Festival, follows Berklis and Nikolai as they illegally scale some of the world's tallest buildings in pursuit of a breathtaking and highly risky rooftop adventures. So there you go. What do you think here? Just some stuff to talk about. Some stuff to take a look at here. No doubt about that. So it always becomes interesting as we are hanging out and doing some things because, listen, I tell you that we're going to look at some of the news stories of the things that are going on that are kind of out of the ordinary. And I guess that kind of falls into that category when it's all said and done because, man, what an interesting time. When you start taking a look at it. So there you go. So let's start talking about some things real quick because there's some oddities that I would like to share with you. People on TikTok are talking about a cheat code for abundance. They're writing 520-7418 on their arm. Water bottle, etc., in effort to attract money. 520 attracts positive money energy. 741 opens doors to financial opportunities. And 8 represents infinity of abundance, wealth, and success. How to use it. Write the number 8 on a piece of paper every morning for 21 days. Say the code out loud while visualizing money flowing easily to you. Put it where you'll see it every day. And take a listen to this real quick, and then we'll kind of talk a little bit more.
I'm going to give you a number. Write it down and do not keep scrolling. 520-741-8. 8. That's the Grabavoy code for attracting money. Write it 10 times every single morning. I don't know why this code works the way it does, but it's ancient and it has worked wonders in my life. And when you are writing it down, write it down with real intention. Sleep with the paper underneath your pillow every single night. You see, most people walk around with constant financial fear. Their whole body is in survival mode. Money doesn't flow to survival mode. It flows to certainty. And this is how you build certainty. 10 times every morning. Don't skip a day and do not write it with doubt.
So what do you think here as this person saying all of this information? It gets interesting, no doubt there. So how many of you have tried this and do you attract money? So, I mean, I'm just trying because I just want to have a better understanding of this because it sounds kind of a little bit different, but don't get me wrong. So do you do it and does it work? I'm just asking. So there you go. A lot of stuff going on inside of the area. No doubt about that. Okay, so with it being 30 minutes past the top of the hour, and keep in mind, too, that we do have no main story today because it is Freeform Friday. I got some stuff for you. Should we talk real quick about 4th of July stuff just for the sake of doing so before we get anywhere else? We can do that. It's not a problem. Because we need to talk about this. Let's talk about some flag etiquette things. If you're going to fly an American flag on Independence Day, here are some of the things that you should know about flying the flag. Display the flag only between sunrise and sunset on a building and stationary flag staffs. The flag may be displayed on 24 hours if illuminated in darkness. Do not display the flag in inclement weather. Whether displaying the flag vertically or horizontally, make sure that the canton of stars is visible to the upper left hand side. Do not let the flag touch the ground, of course. An unusual flag that is damaged and worn can no longer be displayed and should be destroyed in a dignified way by burning. When not on display, the flag should be respectably folded into a triangle symbolizing a tricorn hat worn by colonial soldiers in the Revolutionary War. So there you go. That's kind of what you do with some of the stuff that is going on. So what do you think here? Worth taking a look at? I guess so. That's something to think about. No doubt about that. Anyways, with that being said, we would normally, like I said, do a level of a main story today, but it is Freeform Friday. So what does that mean to you? Well, that means the following. That means we get into do some more news stories today. So we will bring in our friends from Feature Story News for them to tell us what the hell's going on.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
From Feature Story News in New Delhi, I'm Ishan Garg. Japan and India have vowed to work more closely on critical minerals to bolster supply chains as they seek to cut their dependence on China. Japanese Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi highlighted the need for resilience as she met her Indian counterpart Narendra Modi in New Delhi for talks.
They've agreed to strengthen cooperation in several areas, identifying building joint economic security as a key vision for bilateral ties. They said they will work in areas such as artificial intelligence, shipbuilding, biogas, semiconductors and critical technologies. They've also agreed to work together to uphold the idea of a free and open Indo-Pacific. They did not make any overt references to China, but they have identified a new blueprint for strategic cooperation. They've said that they view this space as a shared space and not one where one single country can have dominance and sway. They've agreed to, for the first time, co-develop defense technology. They say they will conduct naval exercises together. And the message seems to be that they're trying to bring about a change in the perception of great powers in Asia.
The White House is in advanced talks with artificial intelligence companies on voluntary standards governing the release of new AI models, with an announcement expected as soon as next week, according to the Financial Times. While OpenAI has proposed giving the US government a 5% stake in AI firms, the AI company Anthropic has put forward a separate plan based on taxation rather than equity. The competing proposals reflect a broader debate over how the public should benefit from the rapid growth of the AI industry. Jagruti Dave has more from Washington.
would be independent from the government, but it would be taxation based. And so then those taxes would then go into a fund which would be paid out to the public, or again invested in in public services. So those are the sorts of ways, I think, based on what this FT article is describing, is how this plan would benefit the public.
Taylor Swift and the American footballer Travis Kelce's wedding celebrations in New York have kicked off, according to reports. Mitch McCann tells us more.
The event festivities will kick off this afternoon, where Taylor Swift will have a rehearsal dinner at one of the theatres inside Madison Square Garden behind me. But tomorrow is the big show, Mark. A big event happening here at the Garden. Around 1,000 people expected for this wedding. They'll arrive, according to these reports, again at 3:30 in the afternoon tomorrow for a cocktail hour. And then the event itself will start around 5:30. Now, it's also thought that Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce may have built some sort of castle and a garden inside Madison Square Garden. A lot going on, and we're also hearing that Stevie Nicks and Tim McGraw might be performing tomorrow night here at the Garden as well. Now, as for New Yorkers and what they think, it seems most people around here are happy for the newlyweds.
With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks. Today, President Donald Trump's astonishing payday since his return to the White House. Financial declarations show that his personal wealth has grown by around $2 billion since Inauguration Day, with an eye-popping $1.4 billion of that coming from his investments in cryptocurrency. He also secured hundreds of millions of dollars via deals involving foreign businesses or governments that simultaneously were presenting proposals to the US government. Daniel Lippman is a White House reporter for Politico.
His kids have a big part to do with it because they and their father have this company called World Liberty Financial, which he's made hundreds of millions of dollars from. One of their big backers is a investment entity linked to the UAE. It kind of reminds you of Trump's rhetoric a couple of years ago, where he was dismissing crypto as a scam and something that drug dealers and criminals used. And now he's changed his tune and has also put a lot of pro-crypto financial regulators into his government.
President Trump said on Wednesday that he never speaks to his investment advisors who control his accounts, and said he was only benefiting from the rise in the stock market, which he suggested is similarly benefiting all Americans. The White House says there is no conflict of interest to probe. The president's opponents believe there is plenty. With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks.
FSN is an independent source of news for TV, radio and digital networks worldwide. You can find more of our minute-by-minute updates on Twitter. Follow us there at Feature Story. And we have a wealth of audio and video stories from our global news bureaus on Facebook. You can find us there by following Feature Story News. Stay tuned for further updates right here, but for now, that is the latest Feature Story News. Ishan Garg reporting.
It's the 4th of July.
4th of July, there's my holiday.
4th of July. Gearing up for fireworks.
Fireworks.
Got M80s, bottle rockets, sticks of dynamite.
Buzz Buttles, Snicker Bombs, Gut Busters, Zippity Doo-Dahs.
Because I love my country, I'm gonna shoot explosive rockets.
You lose an eye in a bottle rocket war, you are a patriot.
That's us, that's right. Gotta love this American ride. Both ends of the ozone burning. Funny how the world keeps turning. Look, Mom, no hands. I love this American ride.
4th of July is the one day a year when our city puts on her high heels and tube tops.
Some of us will remember this weekend as the last time we had all 10 fingers.
Boom, Independence Day.
Happy 4th of July, everybody.
Look, Mom, no hands. I love this American ride. Gotta love this American ride.
Safety in a way never heard of before. The Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
This portion of the show has been sponsored by Private Internet Access, America's #1 virtual private network, or VPN. Even if you use incognito mode, internet service providers is storing your browser data and many times even selling it. But Private Internet Access, or PIA, can help you. BIA encrypts and reroutes your internet traffic through one of its own servers, hiding your data from your internet service provider or network admin. And with servers in over 75 countries, you can get unrestricted access to geo-blocked content from around the world. BIA comes with easy-to-use apps and browsers extension for all devices, a rock-solid privacy policy, open source security, advanced customization settings, and it was just ranked the fastest VPN in the world by PC Magazine. And if you sign up right now with BIA, you can take advantage of a special deal only for Safety FM listeners. Only by using the following link, you can get the digital privacy for less than $2 a month. Yes, you did hear me correctly. Less than $2 a month and an extra 4 months for free. So that means for only $1.98 a month and 83% off, you can get this service for you right now. That's so much more inexpensive than virtually every other VPN on the market. And if you get it right now, you can take BIA's 30-day risk-free challenge. You can try it out for 30 days, see if you like it, and if not, just return it for a full refund. So just go to safetyfm.com/VPN. That's safetyfm.com/VPN to try out the best VPN on the planet completely risk-free. Now remember, safetyfm.com/VPN.
Safety never sounded so terrible. Rated R Safety Show.
This isn't a safety manual. It's a transmission. Jay Allen, PhD, host of the Rated R Safety Show and founder of Safety FM, has spent years pulling back the curtain on the systems we work in and the ones we don't talk about. What started as a fatal crash on the 405 became a search for truth. Through behavior-based safety, human and organizational performance, simulation theory, and everything in between. Safety, in my opinion, is raw, reflective, and real. From burnout to breakthroughs, from the matrix to the moment someone says, "This doesn't feel right." This book doesn't give you answers. It hands you the signal. Safety, in my opinion. Available now, wherever books and audiobooks are found.
On sunny July 4th, the Congress approved the Declaration of Independence. The first July 4th celebration happened on July 8th.
We just wanted to invite you over for a real fireworks display.
I'd love to see your little sparkler show, but I'll have my flame-resistant Kevlar-protected hands full.
It's not a true blue American celebration unless we've got a kilo of gunpowder crammed into a paper towel roll by Chinese factory workers.
So you're gonna tell me that you don't have no black cats, no Roman candles or screaming memes?
No.
Oh, come on, man. You don't got no lady fingers, buzz buttles, snicker bombs, church burners, finger blasters, gut busters, zippity doodads, crap flappers?
No, I don't.
I'm ready for the 4th of July. It's my favorite holiday. No presents, no church, just a Zippo lighter and a trunk full of explosives.
Do you have a claim and not sure where to turn? Coastal Claim Consultants are professionally licensed and bonded public insurance adjusters employed exclusively by you, the policyholder, to represent you after sustaining an insured loss. They assist policyholders in all aspects of processing the claim, working closely with the insured to provide the most equitable and timely settlement possible. They will provide you with comprehensive service, anything from inspecting the loss site, analyzing damages, compiling claim support data, reviewing applicable coverages, assessing replacement costs of damages, and negotiating your settlement. The adjusters at Coastal Claim Consultants will evaluate your claim for no upfront cost whatsoever. Coastal Claim Consultants' fee is based on contingency contracts and are paid when the insurance company sends you a check and it's in your possession. Coastal Claim Consultants are licensed to assist you in the following states: Florida, Texas, Oklahoma, Georgia, and South Carolina. For more information, go to coastal-cc.com. That's coastal-cc.com. For more information, lighting the way to recovery. Coastal Claim Consultants.
Some of the best things in life come to those who wait, but we ain't waiting for shit. Radio Big.
Would you really want to meet him? Would you smart enough to build the planet, 'cause I'm smart enough to know there's a snake in the apple, and the smartest people here, they know it's a fake world. Fake world. You thought you were escaping a fake world.
Okay, here we go. 44 minutes past the top of the hour. Yeah, thank you, and welcome to my simulated world here. Yeah, that's the name of the song. Would tell you how to get it, but you can't because I made this in-house. Kind of how it works. Take a listen.
It's not as bad as it seems. When you finally wake up, you're just in another dream.
Yeah, I like this one a lot, too.
You're just in another dream. When you finally wake up.
Anyways, there you go. Simulated world here on the Rated R Safety Show. Coming across Safety FM and Radio Big.fm. You can find us on Safety.fm as well. Yeah, welcome to the fake world. Yeah, you thought you were escaping that fake world, but apparently you weren't. So there you go. Let's continue talking about the most important thing that I will ever tell you in my lifetime, and that's about my friends at To Write Love on Her Arms. No matter what you're facing, you deserve to be connected to help, and we want you to know that people have been where you are now. Things can get better. Healing is possible. To find out more information, all you have to do is go to TWLOHA.com. That's TWLOHA.com and click on the section that says Find Help. Once you get there, you'll see information related to addiction, depression, anxiety, eating disorders, self-injury, suicide, trauma, grief support, just to name a few. That's TWLOHA.com to write love on her arms. Anyways, with that being said, go there, take a look around. It could change things for you. All kinds of information readily available in regards to how you get involved, what events are going on. They even have stories on their website. And of course, they have a store where you can actually support them by giving financial donations or even buying some of their merch. Yep, some of their merch. So there you go. A lot of stuff going on right there. TWLOHA.com. To write love on her arms. Okay, so let's continue talking. What are we at now? Today's the 3rd, so technically we are 10 days away. 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days away of our event taking place here in Orlando. Would love to see you there, no doubt about that. We're calling it Reality Shifts, an observational symposium live here in Orlando on Monday, July the 13th at the Aloma Cinema Grill. Yep, we're not doing the standard hotel thing because we wanted to do something slightly different. Now, I will have Todd Conklin there talking about human and organizational performance. We will have Nick Weatherly there talking about behavior-based safety or behavioral science, depending on how you want to look at it. And then I will be there talking about Signal. Of course, we'll have some level of a documentary that will play during the event itself. And additionally, because it's at a movie theater, we'll hang out there throughout the day. The reason why we're doing it on a Monday, that way you have the opportunity to come hang out in Orlando over the weekend, if you so desire to do so. So there you go. If you want to find out more information, go to safetyfm.io, not a .com, safetyfm.io. You can go to the .com too. Just go to the hub section. We'll find out more information there. Or you can scan the QR code that's right there on the screen or eener. So there you go. Would love to see you there. July the 13th. It is a live event, not a virtual event. All presenters will be there live and in living color unless something drastically changes. So there you go. A lot of stuff going on inside of the world of the multiverse. So some things to think about as we are doing our gig. So with that being said, let's continue talking about some other things that are going on inside of the world of the multiverse, because that's just kind of how we do this. So let's do this real quick because it is Friday. Let me see if I can see it, because these are important things, because you know how it goes here. On a Friday, we need to discuss what movies are coming on. So there's not a lot, but Young Washington starring William Franklin Miller. comes out today. A young George Washington faces war, betrayal, and impossible choices. A forge, a leader. So there you go. That's it. That is the only movie that's new today. Everything else came out earlier in the week. Smart thinking there, I would imagine. So with that being said, I do have some John Smalls waiting in the wing, wanting to talk about the Motivation Minute. So let's do that right now.
The Motivation Minute.
Courtesy of JaceCaseMedical.com. Today's quote was submitted by Foster. John F. Kennedy said, "All free men, wherever they may live, are citizens of Berlin, and therefore, as a free man, I take pride in the words, Ich bin ein Berliner." This was a famous speech that some have mocked, but I see the beauty in this. Kennedy was saying that we are all in this together. It was a hug to humanity. There are many people visiting the United States right now for their very first time for the World Cup events. It's been an eye-opener for people who've been told how bad the U.S. is. Now they're discovering firsthand that there's some pretty cool people in the United States. They've fallen in love with America. I saw a video of a group of World Cup tourists who were saying, "We are all now Americans." And I love that. It's just regular people who are making the world a better place.
The Motivation Minute.
This has been the Motivation Minute. I'm John Small. Thanks for listening. Your favorite motivational quotes can be submitted for upcoming programs at motivationminute.org.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
Justice Department lawyers filed lawsuits challenging firearm restrictions in California and Virginia, opening a major new legal battle over constitutional rights.
Federal officials argued state regulations unlawfully restrict gun ownership protections guaranteed under federal law. Court proceedings are expected to shape future national debates over state authority and firearm regulation standards. Kyle Norris reporting.
Federal officials announced that the United States will not extend a major North American trade agreement early, preserving current terms while negotiations continue.
Government leaders confirmed the trade pact with Canada, and Mexico will remain unchanged until its scheduled expiration date. Economic analysts say the decision prevents immediate disruption, while future policy discussions continue. Jessica Oakley reporting.
European leaders gathered Wednesday as urgent diplomatic talks intensified over renewed Middle East tensions that are rattling markets and raising fears of a wider regional conflict.
Officials from several allied nations met after fresh military exchanges involving Iran triggered global concern, while energy markets reacted sharply. Negotiators are now pushing for emergency talks aimed at preventing further escalation across the region. Chris Anderson reporting.
International health agencies issued urgent warnings after an Ebola outbreak spread into a crowded displacement camp in Congo, creating fears of rapid transmission.
Medical teams reported new infections after the virus reached temporary shelters housing thousands of vulnerable residents. Health officials are expanding quarantine measures, while aid workers rush additional supplies into the affected region. Lawrence Keller reporting.
Authorities in New York detained 2 climbers after they scaled the Empire State Building and appeared to celebrate with an unexpected engagement high above Manhattan.
Police quickly secured the area after the pair reached the structure's upper tower carrying a banner. Investigators are reviewing security failures while the unusual stunt spreads rapidly online. Liam White reporting.
A powerful earthquake struck Venezuela on Tuesday, triggering an international emergency response and prompting large-scale rescue operations as damaged infrastructure left thousands displaced across several hard-hit communities.
Emergency crews began search operations after major structural damage hit multiple urban centers, while foreign military units joined relief efforts. Aid agencies are now racing to restore communications and provide shelter to affected residents. Benjamin Wright reporting.
Extreme heat warnings expanded across large sections of the country as dangerous temperatures threaten millions preparing for major holiday travel and outdoor gatherings.
Forecasters reported heat index readings exceeding 100 degrees across parts of the Midwest and East Coast. Emergency agencies are urging residents to limit outdoor exposure as conditions worsen. Kevin Sanders reporting.
Authorities across Northern Ireland and parts of Britain responded after anti-immigration unrest expanded into multiple cities, forcing emergency security deployments and raising new concerns over public safety.
Police arrested dozens after clashes broke out during competing demonstrations involving far-right groups and anti-racism activists. Government officials now face growing pressure to contain tensions before more planned gatherings occur. Gary Beck reporting.
And that's the latest news headlines with Alan Edwards.
In order to save the planet from cow farts, why doesn't someone just invent really large gas X pills?
God, what's that awful stench? Radio.
Okay, there you go. Currently 54 minutes past the top of the hour as we are hanging out here on this lovely Freeform Friday. Let's start talking right away about some things that happened back on this date. As I take a look around, in 1754, George Washington surrenders to the French after the FT Necessity 7-Year War. Also in 1775, Washington takes command of the Continental Army in Massachusetts. What else do we got going on? Let's take a look around. In 1932, John McGraw retired from baseball. And let's see, 1939, Lou Gehrig. Gehrig makes his The Luckiest Man speech, so there you go. Also in 1958, The Andy Williams Show premieres on ABC, later on CBS and NBC. Talk about making the whole circuit. Also in 1984, the Supreme Court rules that JC may be forced to admit women as members. So there you go. What else? In 1985, CBS announces a 21% stock buyback through Ted Turner's takeover. So there you go. What else do we got going on? In 1989, the movie Batman sets the record for the quickest $100 million. It took 10 days for it to do it. So there you go. And then let me see. And that's it. That's going to be it for things that happened back on this date. Let's talk about some birthdays or celebrities going on today. Kurt Wood Smith turns 83. Dave Barry, 79. Betty Buckley turned 79 as well. Jan Smithers turned 77. Montel Williams turned 70. Tom Cruise turned 64 today. And Thomas Gibson turned 64 as well. So there you go. Let's talk about some things that you ought to know, because that's always important. NASCAR, the Euro 400 airs this Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern on TNT from Chicagoland Speedway. Tonight's Mega Million jackpot is for $542 million. Tomorrow's Powerball jackpot is for $396 million. Wildlife concerns limit fireworks. Several states and communities are banning or restricting fireworks because of dry condition and wildlife danger. So there you go. Also, Tour de France begins this weekend. Cycling's biggest race gets underway tomorrow with the world's top riders competing. And let's talk about this real quick, because
WTF, welcome back to Florida.
A Florida judge has ruled that the prosecutors can obtain medical records related to Tiger Woods' car crash and subsequent DUI arrest as case moves forward. The ruling allows prosecutors to review records from the Cleveland Clinic Martin South Hospital, where Woods was treated after his March 27th crash. The judge also previously approved prosecutors' request to access Woods' prescription medication records from Palm Beach Pharmacy covering the beginning of the year through the end of March. Both sets of record are protected under court orders that limit access to prosecutors, law enforcement, expert witnesses, and Woods' legal team. The case is being heard at Martin County, Florida, where Woods faces charges stemming from the crash. So there you go. Anyways, that's going to end our time together at the top of the hour. I will be going over to radiobig.fm for the purpose of talking about music and entertainment, if you want to go over there, and we'll play some music together as well. If you don't want to go over there, you can hang out right here with the likes of Sheldon Primus as he talks about the world of safety consulting. So let's talk about this real quick. If you need some words of wisdom, stay away from those people who try to disparage your ambitions. Small minds will always do that, but great minds will give you a feeling that you can become great too. If you need some words of advice for today, put a dryer sheet in your mailbox. It can help discourage wasps from trying to build nests inside of there during the warmer months. So keep that in mind. Anyways, I know who you are.
Duh.
By the way, have a great 4th of July weekend if you're not going over to radiobig.fm with me, just in case. Anyways, I know who you are.
Duh.
You know who I am. Love you, mean it, and goodbye.
The views and opinions expressed during this broadcast, podcast, or radio show are solely those of the host and guests and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of Safety FM and or Radio Big. The content discussed, including examples of analysis, is provided for illustrative purposes only. It should not be applied as the sole solution in real-world scenarios. as it is based on limited and dated open source information. Any assumptions made during this broadcast, podcast, or radio show are not reflective of Safety FM and or Radio Big. No portion of this broadcast, podcast, or radio show may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, electronic, mechanical, recording, or otherwise, without prior written permission of Safety FM and or Radio Big. For permission requests, please contact Safety FM or Radio Big directly.